Hi everyone, it's Lydia from Learning with Lidz, and I am going to be doing a tag today, and it's the tag that most people are doing on YouTube right now, which is the hashtag #ITeachToo tag. So I just have my phone here and I'm going to be reading the questions off of it and answering them. What do you teach and where? I, right now, teach in Canada, Ontario, just outside of Toronto, and next year I will be teaching a grade 3-4 split class. Number 2, how long have you been teaching? This coming year will be my 5th year teaching, which is crazy to think that I've already been teaching for 5 years. But yeah, it will be my 5th year, exactly. Number 3, did you always know you wanted to be a teacher? So the answer to this question is yes, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. Actually, when I was 3 years old, my mom asked me, hey Lydia, what do you want to be when you grow up? And my 3-year-old brain said, I want to be an artist. And my mom said, maybe you should think of something else. And I thought about it, and then she asked me another day and she said, hey Lydia, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I told her I want to be a cashier that works at the grocery store because, again, my 3-year-old logic thought everybody has to eat and thought that the cashier got to keep all of the money that the people gave her at the grocery store. So I guess that was kind of smart for a 3-year-old, I guess. I don't know. But my mom was like, maybe you should think of something else because that's not really how it works. And then when I started kindergarten, I went to school, and after my first day of school, I came home and I said, Mom, I want to be a teacher. And my mom was like, that's a good idea. You should stick with that. So I've pretty much known since I started school that I wanted to be a teacher. So I'm kind of living the dream, so to speak. Number 4, what is your typical hashtag teacher OOTD? So typically what I wear is black pants or black leggings. At my school where I teach, it's not forbidden to wear jeans every single day if we wanted to. I don't necessarily like jeans, but I do have a few pairs of black kind of jegging pants that I like to wear on a regular basis because they're a little bit stretchy, but they still look nicer than jeans, and they're just plain black. And then I usually just wear some sort of top. I always wear a t-shirt or a tank top because I am always cold, but I get like heat flashes because we don't have air conditioning in any of my schools. So I always tend to wear a t-shirt, and then I bring a cardigan, or I leave a cardigan at school just in case it gets like super cold in my classroom. But I usually wear just a t-shirt or a tank top or a cami, some sort of nice top. I generally like to have longer tops just because I feel more comfortable in longer tops that cover like the bum area. I'm a pretty simple or like plain dresser, and where I like to kind of jazz it up is with my shoes. I have way too many shoes. It's kind of ridiculous, but I never wear the same shoes once in a week, because like I'll repeat weeks obviously, but I never wear the same pair of shoes once during a week because I am a shoeaholic, let's say. So yeah, simple black pants. Occasionally I'll wear jeans, but usually on Friday when we get to dress down, I usually wear like leggings and a longer top, and then during the week, black pants, black jeans, black jeggings with some sort of top. That was very long-winded. I am sorry for talking so much. Number 5, what do you usually bring for lunch? So I try to bring my lunch every single day. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't bring my lunch, but typically I bring 2 big water bottles because I pretty much only drink water, and then I bring the like squeezy Crystal Light that you like squeeze into your water just in case I want something like a little bit sweeter. But for lunch I have, my class actually makes fun of me because I eat tomato salad every day. So essentially it's just tomato, onions, and cucumbers with balsamic vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, and salt. I am obsessed with tomato salads. And then I usually have some sort of sandwich. Usually on my sandwich it's pretty much just like a gluten-free bread because I am celiac. And then once I have my gluten-free bread, I put a tiny bit of mayo, a little bit of mustard, and then turkey. I'm very plain. Occasionally I'll put lettuce on it, but usually I just have a sandwich or a wrap, depending on what the gluten-free options are at my house during that time, depending on how frequently I go to the grocery store. If I don't bring my lunch, typically I will go to the grocery store that's literally around the corner from my school, and then I just buy assorted fruit and vegetable trays, just because I don't want to spend a whole lot of money. And typically if I eat a container of watermelon or cantaloupe and a container of carrots and celery and dip, I'm usually okay for the day until I get home. Hi, sorry, I was really thirsty, so I went to go get water. Look at this water bottle. It has emoji poop on it. One of the girls in my class this year bought it for me. Okay, sorry. Back to the questions. So, question number 6. What is one of your favorite books about teaching? Are we talking like books specifically about teaching, or is it more like teacher resources? Because again, I don't really read a whole lot of books about teaching specifically. Like, I read The Essential 55 by Ron Clark, but is that really about teaching? And then I've also read the book Teach Like a Pirate. There's also one that's called Learn Like a Pirate or something like that, which I haven't read, but I've read the book Teach Like a Pirate, and Ron Clark's The Essential 55, but I don't really read a whole lot of books about teaching specifically. I just read a lot of teacher resources, let's say. So like when the Daily 5 was a huge thing, I read the Daily 5 and the Cafe books. I have read like the Morning Meeting book. All of my Miriam Small's math resources that I talked about in my last video about the 3-part lesson plan. But for actual teaching books, I don't know if I've read any other than Teach Like a Pirate. But yeah, let's go with that then. What is one of your favorite teacher movies? One of my favorite teacher movies by far, ever, is either Dead Poets Society, love that movie, and also Stand and Deliver. That's a good movie too. I remember watching it in grade 10 math class, and I was like, whoa, this movie. So yeah, definitely Dead Poets Society. Robin Williams, awesome. And then also, like I said, Stand and Deliver. And if you have not seen Stand and Deliver, because I feel like Dead Poets Society, a lot of people know about that, but Stand and Deliver, not a lot of people know about it. If you have not seen it, you need to watch it. Stop what you're doing. Well, wait, watch this video, and at the end of this video, then go Google it and watch the trailer or something. I'll actually put the trailer for the movie down below if I can find it. It's a great movie. So yeah, Dead Poets Society, Stand and Deliver. Who was your favorite teacher? Okay, so I'm gonna separate this. I'm gonna go elementary school teacher, and then I'm also going to do high school teacher. So my favorite elementary school teacher was my grade 6 teacher. Her name was Madame Altair, or Miss Altair. She was a French teacher as well, but that year that I had her in grade 6, she was only just my regular grade 6 teacher. I feel like she was probably one of my favorite elementary school teachers. She was really fun. She was kind of different and cool. And I remember we used to play pranks on her all the time when we were in grade 6, and she never was mad, and she would play pranks on us. So I just remember grade 6 being like a really, really great year, and me really enjoying being in her class. So my grade 6 teacher, Madame Altair, I don't know if you are out there and if you will ever see this or if you will remember me, but yes, hi. And my favorite high school teacher was my art history, art, photography, film, whatever art related class. His name is Mr. Stocko, and I still am in contact with him to this day. I haven't really talked to him recently, but I did reach out to him last year because I was incorporating some of the photography lessons that he did in my grade 4 art class. And I just reached out to him and was like, thank you for everything. Yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite teachers, if not my favorite teacher ever, because he was just so chill and relaxed, and he was an art teacher, so he was kind of goofy, kind of quirky, and he just reminds me of how I want to be when I'm at his point in my teaching career. He had been teaching for quite a while when I had him, but he still loved his job. He still loved going to school. He still loved everything, loved the students, and it was just great because you could see that he really, really enjoyed his job and had a passion for it. So definitely Mr. Stocko, if I had to pick one, my favorite teacher of all time. Number 9. Who are some of your favorite teacher YouTubers, Instagrammers, Snapchatters, etc.? So, I have been watching YouTube for the longest time. The very first teacher YouTuber I ever encountered on YouTube was Genuine Teaching, and it was her crafting channel because I used to be like super huge into crafting, and then I saw that she had a teaching channel, and the very first ever teaching video I've ever watched was her review on an Erin Condren teacher planner, which was a couple of years ago, and she's the one who kind of like jump-started me into this obsession with teacher YouTubers and teacher vloggers and teacher everything. So Genuine Teaching definitely was the first. Cozy Classroom Tina, I watch her. She was actually the second teacher YouTuber that I got into. Apples and Tiaras, The Lettered Classroom. I also watch, who else? Let me look at my subscriptions. Teach Like a Girl, subscriptions. Who else we got up here? All. I have Pocket Full of Primary, Miss J in First Grade, Thrifted Living, Kayla Marie, One Fab Teacher, Too Cool for Middle School, That One Happy Classroom, Teacher Tales, A Classroom Diva, That Kinder Girl. So these are all of the teacher YouTubers that I watch. I watch a lot of them. But yeah, some of my favorites, definitely the ones that I always look for are Apples and Tiaras, Genuine Teaching, The Lettered Classroom, and then recently I've been like obsessed with watching Teach Like a Girl, Christina, because she's hilarious and I love her Instagram. She makes me laugh. Yeah, so that was really, really long explanation. Sorry guys. Okay, oh, I closed it again. Number 10. What is your best classroom management tip? Okay, so my best classroom management tip is to create relationships with your students. Usually at the beginning of the year, for the first 3 weeks, sometimes even the first month, really all I do with my class is team building activities, getting to know you activities, icebreaker activities, and really drill classroom routines, because that's really the best classroom management tip I can give anybody. Take the time at the beginning of the year. Do not jump into teaching right away and be like, oh no, I need to teach all of this by report cards, or I have to do this before progress reports, or wherever you are. I don't know how other schools are, but our first progress reports go home at the end of October. And I know for a fact that when I first started teaching, my thing was I need to teach something because I need to make sure that I have something to put on their progress report. And then I found that because I didn't take that time at the beginning of the year to set up any sort of classroom management, my class was literally a disaster. So my best classroom management tip for you is take the time at the beginning of the year, take 2, 3, 4 weeks, however long you think you need with your, sorry, I got caught off. Take 2, 3, 4 weeks, however long you think you're gonna need, and really go over classroom routines, classroom procedures, get to know your students, play games with them, do activities with them, get to know what they're interested in, do all of that right from the beginning. That's the best tip I can give you, really. Because everybody has different types of classroom management structures that they like to implement in their class, and every class is going to be different. So there's not really one specific tip that I can give you, like, oh, use the clip chart, or use Class Dojo, or use this, a reward system, or whatever. That's not gonna work if you don't take the time at the beginning of the year. So yeah, definitely take the time at the beginning of the year, get to know your students, and do all that fun stuff. Cool. Okay. Okay, last question, I think. Yes. What is one reason you decided to become a teacher? So, one reason why I decided to become a teacher, like I told you, how I decided I wanted to become a teacher story. I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher, but it really wasn't until I got to like grade 5, 6, or like even grade 7 that I really understood and started thinking about reasons why I wanted to be a teacher. When I was in school, I was bad. I was pretty bad. I wasn't a bad student. I actually did really well in school. I always did well in school, but I was just very talkative. I would always get in trouble by my teachers because they would always say, oh my gosh, Lydia, stop talking, because they would be teaching and I would be talking, or we would be doing an activity and I would be talking, or we would be doing something in an assembly and I would be talking. I would literally never stop talking. So the reason why I would never stop talking is because I was typically bored in class, because like I've said before, I'm a very artsy fartsy kind of person, and I don't like doing things in one specific way. And when I was growing up and when I was in school, teachers tended to teach to one type of student, and I was never that type of student. I was never the student that could follow a procedure and just know exactly what I need to do. I always like to solve problems or do work in a different way than everybody else, because my brain just didn't work like that. I have a more abstract way of thinking, and that was never presented in any type of classroom that I had ever been in until I was in high school when I was in Mr. Stocko's class. And again, I feel like the reason why he's one of my favorite teachers is because he taught to the needs of his students. So I always knew that when at that point in my life, when I kind of like figured it out and it kind of clicked with me, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher because I wanted to teach to the students. I didn't want to just teach to teach. And I feel like teachers when I was growing up just taught to get through the curriculum and teach us stuff, but they didn't really take into consideration how we learn and how our brains worked and our interests. And I always knew that that's what I wanted to do when I became a teacher. And yeah, sure, it makes it harder because you're always changing and you have to do one type of thing for Billy, and then Sally needs something else, and then Jennifer needs something else, and then Jimmy everybody's going to be doing something different. Everybody works at their own pace. But if you're able to teach like that and you're able to understand that kids need differentiation, then that's when you really see growth in the students. And that's the reason why I wanted to become a teacher, because I never had a teacher until high school that really catered to my interests and catered to my needs. And that's why I misbehaved in class, because I didn't feel like my type of learning was represented at all. So yeah, I would say that's kind of why I got into teaching, because I wanted to provide students with the ability to learn and become the type of person they wanted to be, instead of being forced into this like cookie cutter type of student. If that kind of made sense. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, so that's why I got into teaching. One of the main reasons. There's obviously other reasons, but that's probably the main reason. I think that's all the questions. So thank you for watching. If you are new here, please comment, like, subscribe, click that button down below. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.